Hello, friends! Welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be setting up my Q2 and April goals pages in my planner. So, come plan with me. I've already set these pages up in previous videos, so all we'll need is a pen to get going. First, let's start off with my quarterly goals, and I've already completed Q1, as you can see, so we'll be using a similar format for the Q2 goals I'll be setting up here. So my first goal is a work goal, and that is based off of my vision board for 2024. And every year I have to complete my Etsy shop files in this quarter, so I'm just going to go ahead and write that goal in. I am also adding in the M, W, and D for monthly, weekly, and daily because I like to break down these goals into smaller time segments to help me achieve those goals. For the first monthly breakdown, I have to complete a major milestone for each month, and that would include creating all of the file updates, making the PDFs and QCing the work, and then also creating all of the listings for 2025. Following that, we'll break those down into weekly goal segments, and I plan to do 2 to 3 tasks for each milestone every week, time blocking it into my schedule to make sure that that happens. And then finally, we have the daily breakdown of the goal, which is to set aside 3 hours minimum per week for goal tasks. Basically, it's a weekly, but it will depend on the day whether or not I'll have time to work on that goal. So next we have a health goal, and that is usually one that I do every quarter. So this quarter, I am planning to refocus on my fitness and nutrition. I was doing pretty well in my Q1. However, at the end of March and beginning of this month, April, I really got off track, mainly because we were in the process of moving to a new state and just things weren't able to stay in my normal routine. So I want to just refocus, get back to where I was at mid-March, and then also set some bigger goals for myself. So for my monthly goal, I have to accomplish one big milestone each month with 5+ servings of veggies daily, building up to that. 300K steps within 1 month is another goal. And then also to complete a round of Whole30, which is a diet to kind of reset your health and nutrition. So next I have a weekly goal of mapping out my health plans weekly, meaning setting out my meals and workouts, and then also time blocking those into my schedule. And then finally, for the daily breakdown, I want to make sure I'm tracking my food intake, making healthy choices, and then also completing my workouts without excuses. And finally, we have my self-care goal, which is just to simply take care of myself. I set myself up pretty well in Q1 to establish a daily regimen of hygiene and beauty. So I just want to keep that going and maintain it. Also thinking about other things like mental health and wellness. So for my monthly goal, I want to make a self-care beauty appointment once a month. Something I did at the very beginning but kind of got off track on, so I want to pick that back up. I also have a weekly goal to unplug and get outside at least 1 time a day each week, which is a pretty big task now that I'm in a very new place with no friends, but hopefully I can make that happen. And then also to have a full rest day each week. So those 2 days would be separate, giving me like a true weekend, which I really don't have at this point. And then my daily breakdown would be to get presentable every day, put a little effort in, and then to also meet my daily health goals by closing my Apple Watch rings. Okay, so that really does it for the quarter goals, but we will be using those to help me set up my individual monthly goals for April. Basing the first monthly goal off of my first quarterly goal, I'm going to take that monthly breakdown and apply it here for April. So this one is to update all of the file sizes for 2025 for Etsy. That was one of the milestones that I had set up for myself monthly, so we're going to tackle that one in April. To break that down further, we're also going to reference the weekly and the daily I have set out in the quarterly goal. So I'm planning to choose one size each week to update. I have 5 major sizes in my shop, so that should break down nicely into 5 weeks. However, I am starting these goals a little bit late due to the move, so I'm guessing that this goal is going to flow into my May goals, but that's okay. I still want to have it mapped out in a similar fashion so that I can stay on track. I also want to set aside 3 hours every week for completing those tasks that are related to this goal. And I also want to monitor the time that I am spending and be mindful of where I can put more hours in each week. I am going to be very busy into about mid-April, so finding just ways to add time for this goal will be important, including reviewing my schedule and figuring out where I can fit it in. My next goal is, again, based off that quarterly health goal. This one, I'm taking the increase of veggie intake to 5 servings a day directly from that monthly breakdown. What I want to do is identify and prep some basic meals each week that have 5 servings of veggies built in, so I don't have to think too hard. That's going to be key for making this happen. I also, of course, will need to supplement that with fresh produce every week, so just planning out that grocery trip, and then tracking my food intake and making a special tracker perhaps just for daily veggies so that I can visually see how I'm doing on that goal. So for that third goal, we are again taking it straight from that quarterly goal set, and it is, of course, that self-care goal. Since this goal is more of a maintenance goal or something I'll be doing long term, I am going to take that whole goal of taking care of myself along with completing that monthly appointment as my monthly breakdown. So I'm setting myself a goal of getting a pedicure by the end of the month. Hopefully I can make that happen. I feel like pedicures are pretty low maintenance, and even though I'm in a new location, I think I can get that done. I also want to unplug and get outside, and I'm going to set every Friday as being my unplug, get outside day. That'll be the day I do any shopping or just, go out and be amongst people. I also want to have, again, that complete rest day where I'm not working at all. That's always a struggle for me because I feel like I'm constantly working, being self-employed. So I'm going to try to make that every Saturday being my complete down day. Finally, I want to get presentable and meet my health goals daily, which is, again, just based right off of that quarterly goal. So for my last goal, I like to add in one more that's not related to my quarterly goals, but just something extra to work on for the month, usually a shorter goal. And I had on my vision board under my life category to read more books. So I'm just setting myself up with a fairly easy slam dunk type of goal that I think I can do fairly easily. I've got to read a physical book as that goal, and I am thinking to set aside 1 hour per night to read, kind of, instead of watching TV. We'll see if that works out. Otherwise, I'll just build that into my rest day. I'll need to maintain my schedule to allow me to have that extra free time to read in the evenings, so I definitely want to be mindful of that. And then also, I need to choose a book that will keep me engaged, so I'll want to pick it up and read it. So that's going to do it for us, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!